Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're tuning into this message. Today is Friday, May 23rd, 2025, and I am hoping you're having a lovely day, wherever you are, listener. My name is Veronica. I'm a psychic medium, Starseed, intuitive astrologer, many other things. I mean, if I could list all of the things that I am, the list would be extremely long. So I'll just put a pin in that for now, but I wanted to come on today to discuss what it's like as a star-seeded individual awakening in these times with the energy that's coming down upon the planet. Now, if you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll see that, during my channelings, I address a lot of things that's happening in the collective energy on the planet as someone who is in tune to their more shamanic nature and the relationship that we have with the Mother Gaia, with our planet, with the elements, with the angels who uphold the realms of above and below, that provide us with our structure, our form. And to that I say thank you. Thank you, Mother Earth. Thank you, angels. Thank you, Elohim. Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Jesus. I feel a very strong presence of the Holy Spirit at this time. I actually recorded a video last night that I posted, but it was immediately removed because I discussed some things about my past in regards to my health and how I feel as though, for my entire life, my health had been targeted. Excuse me. And I wanted to talk about it. So let's talk about it. Whenever I was a teenager, before I could make medical decisions on my own, I feel like I was medically experimented upon through various treatments and surgeries and specific jabs that I had received. And shortly after receiving specific jabs, developing chronic autoimmune medical diagnoses that affected my health and still continue to affect my health. I feel like there's some sort of alteration to my natural state of being on a cellular level, and I feel as if I'm not the only one who this had occurred to. I would be interested in hearing, more information as it comes out in the public sphere, in the media. I know that RFK Jr. is really trying to crack down on the medical industries in the country and the food industries in the country, because those are the things that make up our existence, our being. You are what you eat. And if you're eating nothing but processed foods and heavy metals, those things will add up into your body and you will experience disease and sickness. So I'm grateful for all of the things happening in the background and all of the things that's coming to light. But, I am one of those people who've been targeted, I feel, by, I'm unsure. But on my health journey, I've discovered ways to cope and heal outside of a larger corporation or a larger entity that's more so designed to keeping one under control, or perhaps even kept as a slave, because that's how I feel. I feel like I feel like it's outside of my control to participate in some sort of structure that upholds disease. So that's something that I'm myself breaking away from, and I would love to go into further detail on that, but I understand that there are specific community guidelines that must be upheld. So I'm going to go ahead and do some reading about specifically that and how it affects us, and how, you know, first card out is the Ankh, which is the key to your infinite nature, the key to your vessel, to your home. It's like taking this key, this information, and plugging it in to infinite God source, but that resides in you. You just have to insert the key and turn it. Okay, we have the element of earth with the octagram. 8-pointed star, you know, sort of like this, but in a geometrical structure on the planet. So this is transformative energy. This is taking the resources of the structures that you had dismantled inside of your own body, inside of your planet, your earth, and reshaping it as you see fit. And that's something that I've noticed these larger entities have tried to do to humanity as a whole, is introducing these things that they claim have no harm to us, but over time, all of these little things do add up into a larger problem, I want to say. And, you know, it's up to us now to recognize what experiments were done on us and put 2 and 2 together so that we can restructure that. Okay, we have Tifereth, a sphere on the tree of life, which represents beauty, divine beauty. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And Sehiki, mind, body, spirit connection and healing. This is healing in the eye of the beholder. This is healing your vessel into something beautiful. Healing your vessel and like merging with your body. It's your soul and spirit merging with your body so that you can actually have direct influence over all of the little bits and pieces that reside within it. It's taking your power back, and by doing so, you're able to, you know, become a sovereign being once more. Virgo and Shokure. Shokure, first of all, that's like, to me, the be here now energy. Thank you, Baba Ram Das. Be here now. It's being present with your vessel, the Virgin. And I know that I had already said that, you know, it's all of the little things that do add up into the big. And that's Virgo energy right there. They're a bit perfectionistic, and they are an earth sign, so that's feminine energy coming out. And it's our connection with the goddess, with the feminine archetype, with Mother Earth, in the now moment, that allows us to actually make the changes. Being in the now moment is the key to infinite God source energy through the divine will of the mother, and it is the power of our bright golden sun, of this golden white light that's coming down and supporting us in our endeavors of connecting more with our bodies, connecting more with the earth and with the natural energies that's all around us. And I feel like it's my job, you know, as this more shamanic earth angelic being, to come out here and speak about what the symbols within the elements and within the subtleties have to say about, you know, where we're going and how we are evolving all together as a collective. So thank you for being here, and thank you for being present. Thank you for staying true to yourselves, and, you know, we are all in it together. And I just hope that my energies and blessings help other people. So to that we say Jai Ma. Let's get some astrology cards out here. Yeah, it's just like realizing and remembering specific moments in my life where I had been in and out of hospitals, been through multiple surgeries, and after taking some different type of supplements, I can feel things in my body. Like I can feel a ball in my deltoid muscle at this time. It's like a ball of metal, and I'm not sure how the implant got there, or if it grew from multiple injections at the same site, you know, but I can feel it, and I can feel it all throughout my neck and my lymph nodes even. So like I've been focusing on different supplements and like Ayurvedic treatments, as well as some Chinese medicine. I just focus on natural remedies at this time. And you know, this isn't medical advice or anything, but I will say that I am a medical professional, and I understand how body mechanisms work. I understand how pharmaceuticals function in the body. You know, I've walked that walk. I've walked that type of a lifestyle, and it didn't work for me. It didn't. You know, if you identify as somebody who had been, you know, chewed up and spit out by the medical industry, you might understand a little bit where I'm coming from. But, okay, so we have the solar eclipse, which is revolution, and Sagittarius energy, which the keyword is revolution and IC. So there appears to be some sort of revolutionary energy coming in from the sun. It's like when the sun is blocked by the moon during a solar eclipse. It's like the moon blocks out the healing rays of the sun and allows for this sort of portal to open up into other dimensions. And that's kind of like what the ancients thought of whenever they looked at a solar eclipse. They called it like baneful energy, and a lot of times they would avoid doing anything. I mean, even still, there's lots of cultures like Vedic astrologers take it very seriously whenever these energies come through, because thousands and thousands of years of observations and correlations that had been, you know, written down. Astrology and astronomy, those are some ancient arts and ancient studies, and I gotta respect it. You know, I gotta respect it. So whenever we're talking to the spheres of the cosmos like this, it's best to pay attention because the omens are monumental. So, you know, we're in here talking about our health and how it relates to the planet. So, Sagittarius energy is fire, mutable, which means it's in a constant state of change. And it's travel. It's higher forms of wisdom, thought, religion, and all of the different areas that may entail. It's ruled by the planet Jupiter, which in Roman astrology was seen as Zeus, the father energy. And it's also an abundant type of energy. It wants to be free. Wants to be free to express, free to think, free to enjoy, just free, wants to be free. And coming in with the revolutionary energy of the solar eclipse, it's like all things go in a way. Leo, I will, and the moon, the soul, moon in Leo, the soul of the will of divine creator, the will of the divine child within all of us. It's your inner child. It's the inner child that has been linked to your soul lifetime after lifetime, coming out now. It's this fiery energy of your will, and how you're recognizing that your will in this lifetime perhaps was sprinkled with bits and pieces of ego that does not align with divine will or divine law or love. So it's you realizing and reflecting that perhaps you were led astray. Perhaps you did see things in a like dogmatic type of way, because Sagittarius can be quite dogmatic. They can be like my way or the highway type thing, you know. But with the moon, which is your nurturance and how you also nurture others around you, it's you taking up the mantle and saying, you know, my will be done in accordance to divine law and my nature. It's reconnecting with your nature. That's beautiful. We have the 10th house, which is symbolized by the world, and Pluto, transformation. Hello, Pluto in the 10th house. I have this in my natal chart, conjunct my moon. So that's fun. Transformation of the world. This is world altering energy coming out now from my soul to yours, collective. This is us in it together. And I hope that, you know, you get something out of this. You know, take it if it resonates. And if it doesn't, then just leave it there. But yeah, it's introducing these higher ideas to the collective and to the listener about how we are breaking things down. Pluto is known as like the destroyer. So Pluto coming in to destroy something that never belonged there in the first place. You know, he's there to uphold divine law and divine will. If you play Dungeons and Dragons or are familiar with like the alignment table or anything, Pluto is kind of like lawful evil to lawful neutral in a way, just because he's there to uphold something that may seem evil to one group or another, but it's aligned with divine law. It's literally Elohim energy. It's the angels that were classified as demons because they fell, but they're becoming realigned with the world as it is. Instead of being controlled and manipulated, they are now able to realign themselves with how things should be naturally. It's like, you know, the giant colossal squid at the bottom of the ocean wouldn't be able to survive in the upper planes of the ocean because of the pressure that is needed and the temperature regulations that are needed. I mean, it belongs down there on purpose. Just as we belong here on purpose. You know, it's natural. And if the gravitational forces of the above and below weren't present, we wouldn't have the world as it is. So to that we say thank you, Elohim.
I don't understand. What is she telling me?
Who is it? All right, take two. I had to pause there to assist my grandmother with something. But yes, the world is transforming before our very eyes. Saturn return, coming of age energy, in first house, the body. It's like returning to your body is allowing you to accept exactly where you are in this space and time. And by accepting where you are and how far you've come, you are able to take into account the things you had gone through and what it means now, how it's reflecting on your vessel, on your body, from the waters that, you know, were nurturing you, the waters that were poured into you, the substances that were given to you or injected into you, and over time, how it shows up in or on your body. It's having the ultimate record keeper as your ally, and the record keeper is you. I want to introduce you to my deities that I've worked with for years now. We have here Olokun, who is the god of the sea. He is the one who upholds the mysteries of the oceans, the mysteries of the depths of one's emotions and psyche. And we say thank you, Olokun, for upholding these realms of the below. Because not only are there deep, dark mysteries below, but on the tops of the oceans, we see the sunlight glittering, glistening, dolphins leaping and playing. You know, there's a lot of different things that occur in the seas. And they all coexist as one, inside of one large body of water, of consciousness, of emotion, you know. It's like they exist within this world of the water, which we correlate to as our emotions and how we express our emotions to one another. So if these beings are able to live in sort of an inverted world as us, it makes you wonder about what type of consciousness you have on the inside of our bodies, like our organs' consciousness and resonance inside of the oceans within you. So that is something that, you know, we are all awakening to, is the consciousness of the inside world, inner earth. Inner earth. On this side I have Santa Muerte, Holy Death. And she's also one who upholds the realms of above and below by honoring the mother, honoring the earth, honoring, it's like definitely Plutonian energy with that. Honoring the natural cycles of birth, life, and death. Recycling of the body, recycling of the energy, going back to the mother. It's like returning to the mother in your home after a long day's work. It's like a long but fulfilling day's work, and like bringing something back home to your mom and giving it to her and having her be so happy and proud of you. Santa Muerte also protects those who had been subjugated to anything that tries to have like a top-down power over dynamic in your life. So she's here now to protect all beings who may have felt at some point in their lives that they were being exploited or used. I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of a clearing here. We're gonna knock all of that energy right out of there. All of that negative energy. J-Ma, J-Ma, J-Ma. All of the energy that attached itself to you, tried to keep you held down, tried to keep you sick, it is gone. It is removed. It is recycled with the power of the Mother Earth, Father, Son, and the mysteries of the ocean, the shapeshifters within the waters of the elemental consciousness of the ocean. Thank you. Ashe. May we return to our bodies. Water. Confirmation. Huge confirmation. Water and fire. Water and fire together creates steam. Steam is the child of water and fire. Interesting. Autumn. And the moon. Again, the moon. Amazing. Water and fire, autumn and the moon. What happens in the autumn? The harvest. it's, you know what I'm getting here is I'm getting that these two elements came together and created something new by burning away some of the water. It's like some of the fire had gone out and some of the water had evaporated, but it created a third energy form. And the third energy form makes its appearance now. And it's like, I have a strong feeling that this autumn, you know, I'm going to be 33 this year. In the autumn, and I have a feeling that that is when a lot of our oh my goodness, it's like a lot of us is going to be having this like massive walk in our vessel, and it's our own energy. It's like our own stellar source energy is coming in even stronger in the autumn, but we have to first go through this period of intense healing of our body. And that's Saturn coming in, that's Saturn and Aries about to happen, coming in and saying, he's like washing up on the shores of Aries from Pisces. He's going from Pisces into fire sign Aries. He's being born on the beach. It's that Sabian symbol of the woman rising from the waters and being embraced by the seal. And I believe that that is Saturn being reborn from the cosmic ocean into the body. It's actual divine will and structure and form that we are birthing as starseed beings and just human beings, because this is the story of myself, but it's the story of many other people, many other beings. These are the tales that are older than time. So yeah, Saturn is coming in now to tell us that we need to get our shit together by the autumn. Thank you. Third eye chakra and the past. Okay, so this is going back to Tifereth again with like the divine view. It's like the top down view. It's being up on top of the globe at the North Pole and looking down and understanding that we have the ability to review and witness the world, to witness ourselves from the top down, scanning our bodies, scanning the world, and seeing exactly where in it is the issue. And that's kind of like what I had been doing by having a life review, of reviewing my past memories of what went wrong in my body and when, and what forces came in to manipulate my earth to alter it for some sort of experiment, or, you know, just to see what may happen in response to one therapy or another, one medication or another, and over time understanding the implications of what those things may perhaps have on us. Surrendering in the summer. Surrendering in the summer. I feel like the more people who, you know, go through this type of life review process with their health and how it relates to flipping everything, because that's the thing about star-seeded beings, is that our frequency affects everything around us. It affects things across the flipping universe. So why wouldn't they try to manipulate and control us, knowing, since before we knew, before we had any idea about any of it, trying to manipulate us and control us, send us down these rabbit holes to confuse and sidetrack. It's like being able to see the past, being able to remember the repressed memories, and like seeing that this summer they will send up the white flag. They will surrender this summer. I believe that, and I pray for that. I pray for truth and justice to be upheld. I pray, and I will continue to speak my truth for the greatest and best good of all, because one rise and all will rise. To that we say Jema. Praise Elohim for upholding divine will and divine law. Oh, yes. The egg. Birth. Creation. Birthing a community. That's kind of what we're doing, is like we're emerging from our shell into a community that perhaps is already created, or we're birthing out of our shells all at the same time and realizing that we can build a new community in these energies that we have been like calling back into our vessel. It's us, the daughters and sons of the mountain. I'd be curious in the comments if you'll tell me which mountain range is generally near where you live. But I live in an Appalachian basin. Did you know that the Appalachian Mountains connect with the mountain ranges in Scotland? I've been really examining the globe and like I've been thinking about Pangea a lot and what lands were connected at the birth of time. Because yes, we are all spread apart now, but at one moment we were all one. Strength and leadership. Anytime I see lions, I think about ancient Egyptian energy. I think about Sekhmet, and I think about Bastet. Coming in, Bastet was the leader of the household, but Sekhmet was the leader on the battlefield. She could not be bested, and she was vicious. They pacified her with red ale, which made her sleep. And when she awoke, she transformed back again into Bastet, the leader of the household. There's a lot of strength in being the leader of a household because you have the ability to be that influence that strengthens or fells those who are in your general vicinity. So there is a lot of responsibility that one adopts as they awaken to this energy, right? Here's the hungry ghost. Fear. And the owl, seer. It's being able to take charge of your own energy to the point where you understand that if you're feeling fear, you're instilling fear in others. Or perhaps it's the other way around. Other people are trying to push those energies into your sphere of influence. That's called mind control. That's called mind control. And if you watch a lot of mainstream television or allow yourself to surrender to the narratives that are being pumped out in some sort of experimental fashion, where they are experimenting on our psyches and have been for a long time. That's when you can see through the fear. You know, whenever you awaken to the nature of yourself, you awaken to the nature of fear and how it plays on your psyche, plays on your subconscious, and alters the way that you move through the world. You know, there's a lot of illusion that's being dispelled at this time, and Jay Ma for us, for our ancestors. Thank you, ancestors. Thank you so much, ancestors, for living and breathing and being an example, being that record keeper that we are able to remember. It's being able to access the Akashic records through your ancestors in real time, really truly examining your family tree and saying, oh, my great-grandparents came from XYZ country. What happened in that country during the time they were alive? What happened that they remember that I can now remember? Because I can directly communicate with my ancestors. I can directly access this memory that they tried to rewrite, that history tried to rewrite. You know, you pick up any history book in America, and they're gonna have ancient Egyptians that are like Caucasian people in the headdress, and it's like, that's not real life. You know what I mean? Like, things have been... Look at this. Free from the past. We have a lot of revolutionary energy, a lot of leadership energy. It's like, what this is saying is take charge in your role in the community and birth something that is true to you. You have to dig deep and get passionate, because whenever you get passionate, whenever you ignite that fire of the Holy Spirit within yourself, you create steam inside of yourself. And once you create that steam, it's like steam powered, baby. You're the steam powered locomotive that's powering your vessel around the world. It's the train that wraps around the world, and it's transforming every station that it stops in. And anybody who wishes to board the train is walking away from the narratives that were crafted in those spots that they found themselves stuck in. It's like they woke up to these narratives that were carefully, perfectly crafted for them to stay stuck in one spot and continue to give their energy to that one spot. It was like coerced. Please, Edwin. It was like this coerced type of energy that tricked people into thinking that they were free, but they were actually like stuck in some sort of like slave-run society. And once you board onto that train, once you awaken to your true nature, it's like you do realize that you can be free, but you have to leave everything behind you. It's like returning to a much more indigenous type of living, much more indigenous type of life, where you are connected to the land and you are connected to your communities in a way that you hadn't really experienced before, because you weren't allowed to see that. Or they made you afraid to see that. They made you want to be afraid. They wanted to isolate. They wanted to capture. They wanted to make all of the women go back to work so that there was nobody in charge of the household. And then they installed all of these like AI technologies. They put the smart homes in. They put third-party trackers in your technology and try to coerce you into doing specific things or thinking specific things, which I believe is fundamentally wrong, because they're not using the technology in a responsible fashion. And to that I say, let there be light on that situation, please. We're going to take that one. Dragonfly spirit. This spirit comes in with more transformational energy. Number 12. The number 12 represents a complete cycle. The cycle has ended, and now we get to move into something that had never been created before. So let's get a Mother Mary card out here. It's insane. You know, I did a reading yesterday, and these same two cards came out. But most importantly, like this one to me, Our Lady of the Star Blossom. Our Lady of the Star Blossom, you know, as a star seed who is now blossoming in the light of the sun. It's like the sun is emitting more energy, and us star seeds are growing from it. Our psyche, our consciousness is growing from it, and we're supposed to. So something that is giving me huge alarm bells right now is, you know, there's all this talk about governmental entities attempting to dim the sun's light. And why would they do that? Why? If not to dim us and to stunt our growth, as they had been doing for many, many years. Like, I've been medically injured for more than half of my life. Why? And what greater implications does that have on one's psyche, on the amount of complex PTSD that they had suffered at the hands of those who is trying to control this type of narrative, right? So, you know, once again, take that if it resonates and leave it if it doesn't, but that's my experience of being controlled in the most subtle, insidious ways and awaking to that type of abuse. I pray for justice. I pray for justice of all the ones who had been experimented upon without their knowing. And yeah, pray for divine grace and love to come in now for all of those beings. Let's get one more card. Let's get a unicorn card. Delight. Count your blessings and enjoy life. Take pleasure in simple things. Always expect the best. Delight. I don't know about you, but this is the energy that I'm trying to pour into the world. This delightful, free-flowing delight. Delight from the sun pouring in. It's cute too. It's like this little tiny sprite unicorn energy coming off of a dandelion puff. It's really adorable. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it there, you guys, but hope you enjoyed this message. I hope that you were able to connect to something deeper within yourself, maybe unlock some memories that were hidden from your plain sight. and have a great rest of your day, wherever you are. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We're all in it together, and I appreciate the community. I appreciate the listener. And I appreciate this life that we are all somehow tied into all together. All one in J-Ma.